is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Crossout. Now today we have a new pack that we're going to talk about today, and then we're going to try to talk about what is actually coming here for the 2020 patch, what we know so far, what I just tried to compile all of the information that we have so far and the information that we haven't gotten so far, and try to put that into a bit of a more easily consumable information for you guys if you haven't really followed all of the latest patches that has been. It's a subject that I haven't really talked about before because it all happened during Christmas and I was home during Christmas, so it just overlapped. Not good, but we're gonna do it now, so don't worry. First of all, I feel like we should start out by looking at the actual new pack, and it is the sort of, I'm guessing it's the prequel to the actual Ravager faction that we are getting later on. So we've gotten some pretty cool new things here, as you can see. Actually already a couple new parts as well, these hydraulic parts right here, which I'm guessing will be the theme of the Ravager faction, but more on that later. First of all, what do you get with the pack? Well, you get what you see right here. You get a eye decor, then you get a humpback with a skin. It's a CK that you cannot trade, unfortunately, so you will have to get the pack if you do want to have this skin. Besides that, we get two new weapons, which is called R3739 Adapter. This weapon is a tap fire weapon, sort of acts like a semi-automatic burst firing FAMAS or whatever. But as you can see, shoots 3 rounds whenever you shoot, and the damage is actually decent. Now if you look at the weapon here, it has a perk that says increase weapon damage as the vehicle's durability decreases, which is why I'm assuming that they put it with the humpback, because actually you're going to get a total of 25% if you get hammered on the humpback and you get low while with this weapon. So it's potentially a weapon that can deal a lot of damage if you combine it with a cabin that will also increase the damage over time. Takes up a total of 4 energy, just 125 durability, so it is a weapon that is going to fall off, like that, if you look at it. So it is quite squishy, but on the other hand, it is also a strong weapon. I played a few games with it. You're going to see just a couple of games with me playing with it later on as we talk in this video. And yeah, besides that, you get this new paint, which is called, let's just have a look at everything that is in this one right now. You get this new paint called Ravager Plating. They made it in binary there in the description, which is quite funny, I think. As it is sort of a futuristic robot AI technology thingy that is trying to take over the wastelands, as far as I can understand from the from the actual story that they're trying to build up. If you play the adventure mode as well, you would know. And yeah, that's pretty much it what you get. Besides that, we have a drone, we have a Genesis, some wheels, and let's see, a few stickers, all sorts of utilities that you might use, you might not use, that's up to you. But a nice pack. Not really, I don't feel like it has a lot of use to it. The weapons are interesting, and I think you can make a lot of interesting builds with it, but this build here specifically is not, I don't find it super interesting, but it is some really cool parts though. So if you are looking to get some new stuff, I mean, this eye for sure, I think I'm gonna stack a couple of those because they're so cool, and they're decently cheap right now. People are often selling off their parts here at the beginning when we get new packs, and then they want a quick sell, to get it, make a quick buck before the market floats, and then a lot of people actually end up selling way too low. So if you want to grab these for cheap, now is a really good time to do so. Moving on from that, I think we should go and have a look at everything that we know so far that is coming with the Ravager patch here in 2020 and what we might be able to expect from it. So first of all, we have a radar change. The radar change is probably one of the most requested changes still, yet not much has happened on the matter. The devs have tested a mechanic that removes your HUD for 3 seconds per radar lost, meaning that those full radar hover builds would easily lose HUD for 12 to 15 seconds when taking damage. While this can be annoying, it wasn't efficient enough and was met with quite a lot of doubt, and they ended up not going through with it. As of late November, when we had a test server last, we had received more info we hadn't received more info into the change, but do expect something to happen eventually. I would expect it to join with the 2020 Ravagers faction, to be honest. Next up is vertical boosters. We also saw this in the late November test server, that we saw the devs testing vertical boosters. After the test server, the change never made it into the game, and no more was mentioned of it. So no further info can be found on what they learned from the actual testing. But my guess would be that it is also something we will see during the massive 2020 patch. If you don't know what I mean by that, just stay tuned with this. New legs. One thing that has been lurking in the leaks for quite some time are Omni wheel legs, even though we do not know if they are actual Omni wheels, you know, can drive in any direction, or if it's just a weird looking wheel with an oversized suspension setup. What we know is that the devs confirmed them and they will be indeed coming to the game. Next up we have a new faction. We talked a little bit about this, and if you haven't followed along for a lot of information around the game and you happen to stumble upon this video randomly, then you are in for some pretty good news. The 2020 patch has been described as the patch to sort of save the game. If loads of new content is a way of saving it, then I think they are absolutely right. We've seen a lot of information about the patch so far, and here's what we know. We will be getting a new faction, a battle pass system will be implemented, at least 3 weapons besides the one you're looking at right now in the video has been confirmed. But let's talk more about the battle pass later, because I want to, you know, address that as a subject itself. The faction will be called Ravagers, which we have previously encountered in adventure mode. The faction will look differently from all the other ones, as the item has to be obtained through that said battle pass. No information yet about the items joining a permanent faction afterwards though, but let's look at the weapons first. First up we have a disc gun. The gun most of all looks like it's shooting some sort of a disc or a really wide laser. The weapon seems to be an instant fire that shoots out 1 round and then reloads. No official information have been given, but to me it looks like something that can function like a low tier Scorpion from what I've seen. Then we have the laser gun. The laser gun charges the weapon and then bursts out a precise laser after being charged. Nothing more to say about that one, since we haven't really seen much more, so it's hard to comment on that, to be honest. And then we have the pulse gun. The last one shoots something that looks like a spark particle. The projectile will damage based on the charge, so the more you hold your fire button before shooting, the more damage you will deal. And then let's talk a little bit about the battle pass, because I think it's an important thing to address. We need to look at the battle pass, because the battle pass has been heavily discussed by many people, and to be honest, I don't share the opinions about it being pay to win. The information we've been given so far is that the battle pass is open to everyone, while you can buy a premium pass and get access to ready-made parts, cosmetic items, and in-game currency. I'm assuming that ready-made part means crafted weapons. If you don't have the premium pass, you will still receive the blueprints for the weapon, but you will have to craft it yourself, just like any other faction in the game. Through the regular battle pass, all structural parts will be available, as well as engineer badges, blueprints for weapons, and neo portraits. Neither does the premium pass give you all the faction parts earlier, as far as I can see in the news announcement. At the end of the day, we've had to grind for all the factions that we have. While the battle pass does reveal people, reward people who play more, players who play less should not feel left out for this matter. Again, I'm not 100% sure about the premium pass giving you earlier access to the parts, but you're all gonna get it. Like, everyone can get the same parts from this. The only thing that is different is cosmetics, which will not benefit your gameplay. And everyone is free to grind the items that they have the time for and be happy with the pieces that they've gotten, rather than being annoyed by the pieces that they didn't get. If you look at games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Rocket League, Apex Legends, Dota, and I could literally keep going, they all have the same battle pass system. They all carry the same concept. So I honestly think we should embrace it and enjoy all the new cool items that we get, rather than being pissed about the few items that you might not get because you don't have time to fully level up the, you know, battle pass. When I started playing Fortnite, I was pissed that I didn't get the John Wick skin either. But at the end of the day, I played with all the stuff that I got and was happy with that, and then, you know, move on. So yeah, that's pretty much what we know so far, guys. I really hope you could use this for something useful, and you could use the pack item here and, you know, just get a review of what you're actually getting in the pack. If there's anything you would like to see me do with this build, you know, make a specific build with the weapons or the decors or anything like that, do let me know down below, and do let me know what you think about all of this 2020 patch that is coming. Do you think the game is on the right track again? Because I personally think that we are definitely moving in the right direction. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to drop a like down below. And if you want to stay updated to Crossout and all of the other games that I play, hit the subscribe button down below. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.